everybody, and welcome back to another video by NovaPans Handpans where we teach you the handpan for free. We've already had over 5,000 people 5 years ago when we created our first series talk about how happy they were, grateful for those videos we made. And my only regret is that I didn't recreate any new videos any sooner. It's been almost 5 years, so I'm very sorry. Clearly the aesthetic has changed also. Life has changed, the world has changed. But we're back, and we're going to continue creating these series because they help a lot of people. So if you missed, this is actually the second video so far of the recap of the new half of the decade, so to speak. And I just recapped simplified handpan notation, which essentially is the notation, the system which we're using to refer to playing the handpan from a piece of sheet music. So check out that previous video if you haven't already. It basically tells you which note associates to which position on the 5 lines. So I'm just going to rub that out, erase that. Today I want to teach you what's perhaps, it's what most people remember the handpan as or from, and it's the Hang Massive's Once Again song. I'm not going to necessarily teach you the whole song. What I'm going to teach you is the chord progression, or rather the progression of the intervals used, because it's a very popular one, and it's a lovely one to build on. And the way it goes is you've got the 2nd and 5th note. Now again, I am using a G-sharp 3 chord handpan. That's a specific scale. Does that mean that you can't learn this particular song? No, it doesn't. What it does mean is, though, when you do learn this, it may sound different on your handpan. It may sound different in 2 ways. One is the pitch, the actual how high or low it sounds. And depending on the scale of your handpan, for example, if it's not a chord, say it's an Amara or a Pygmy or a Mystic, something like that, it will sound slightly different in tonality. So no one's stopping you from playing this progression. If anything, if you don't have a chord, you get the opportunity to experiment playing it in a whole new world, a whole new way. So I'm going to be referring to the notes. You can play them on your handpan however you like and see how it sounds. So this notorious chord progression, which we may call pattern number 1 from Hang Massive, thank you guys for your music, is 2 and 5, played sometimes actually with the 1. 1, 2, 5. Don't worry if you can't reach the ding and the 2nd note. It's not so important. If you can just play 2 and 5, that's good enough. We've got 2 and 5 played together. If you're not sure where the notes are, you can also check our previous video, but essentially the note numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'll find that the odd notes are on the left and the even notes are on the right, so that should help you. So we're playing 2 and 5 together, okay? That's lovely, just let it sing. Again, this is a recap, so I'm going to quickly say again, if you can't quite get the sound of your handpan, assuming you've just logged in and found these videos, check out our video we call the touch technique. It basically helps you play the notes, play a difference between the sounds of the notes from, say, this kind of dampened sound to this sound, which is a lot more resonant and sustained. Back to the class. 2 and 5. Okay, let that sing. If you've got that sounding nicely and each note is sounding at the same kind of level of dynamics, the same volume, you can move to 3 and 5. Play that again. 3 and 5. Notice how the 5 is still there. The left is just playing the same, and the right is changing. So really, you don't have to move anything else. You just go 2 and 5, 3 and 5. That essentially is it. That is, once again, by Hang Massive. All that they do then is basically develop the chord rhythmically and they create a song from that. That actually developed into something more of a, somewhat of a, you could say, bass line or accompaniment. And then what they do essentially is create melodies on the top. But we're not going to get into that. What I want to teach you today is that specific chord pattern. 1, 2, 5, 1, 3, 5. Now if you can't reach the thing, don't worry, just do 2 and 5, 3 and 5. How do you notate that? Well, I'm just going to keep simplified handpan notation up here. Should write NovaPans as well. I'll quickly write that. NovaPans. And we're going to write chord pattern. Or should it just be pattern? You can see I'm just developing this as we go. Chord pattern. One. Alright, I'm just going to circle this. Okay? There you go. Chord pattern 1. NovaPans. Simplified handpan notation. Hopefully you can see that. It does look small on the screen. I'll see about improving that somehow. But again, all of this sheet music is provided on the website, and I'm going to be referring to each sheet that's available to download on the page, novapans.com/learn. As today, chord pattern 1. Okay, so you should see the option to choose lesson or sheet music. Chord pattern 1, and be able to download the PDF there. 5 lines, okay? This is how we notate the notes of the handpan. Five lines. It's the treble clef. It's important that we imply that we're playing a percussion instrument, because the notes are not strictly pitch assigned. And it's in 4/4. We may have covered this in, yeah, I think we did in the past. Essentially what that means is the bars divide into 4 crotchet beats, or 4 quarter note beats. Essentially you count 4 per bar. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with that in mind, I want you to practice 2 and 5, 3 and 5. So essentially I'm asking you to play each of those chords for 4 beats each. And what is the name of that that rhythm? It's called a semi-brief in the UK. Sugar. It's been such a while. Whole beat. No, it's a semi-brief. Semi-brief. Quarter beat. Whole beat. Semi-brief. I need to get that. I need to double check that. I had to make sure I double check that, and I should have, I'm pretty sure I said it, but a semi-brief is a 4 beat note. Now I believe in North America you refer to that as a whole note. And essentially I'm going to show you with the second note and the fifth note, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like that. Now there's no tail on this note, which implies it is a 4-beat note, a whole note, or a note that lasts for 4 beats, referred to in North America as a whole note, referred to in the Commonwealth mostly as a semi-breve. If it was with a tail like this, it would indicate that it would last for only 2 beats, and we refer to that as a minim, or a half note in North America. You'll have to be patient with me, I don't know the North American system, so you have to double check the precise terms for those. But essentially these are semi-breves, they last for 4 beats. That is the second and fifth note, as I've already helped you understand from the simplified handpan notation visual earlier. That's what it looks like, 2 and 5, followed by 3 and 5. So 3 is just 1 space up, 5 remains the same. And again, it's a semi-breve still, it's a 4-beat long note, or a whole note. And I've indicated the repeat marks here, 2 lines with, say, like a colon. And that indicates that you should repeat from the beginning again. 2, sorry, this is 3 and 5. So essentially you repeat that. You got 2 and 5, 2, 3, 4, 3 and 5, 2, 3, 4. Now don't be afraid to slow down. If anything, slowing down helps you learn faster and more effectively. So get the tempo in your head. Now you can either download a free metronome app, I believe a metronome app. Soundbrenner is a good one off the App Store. But anything which clicks to a consistent pulse so that you can play on one of those clicks, count for 3 more beats, then play again on the what would be the 5th beat or the 1st beat of the next bar. 2, 3, 4, repeat. 2 and 5, 2, 3, 4, 3 and 5, 2, 3, 4. Now you might be wondering, why am I practicing to a beat? You know, it feels very regimental, and in a way it is, you know. Classical music, traditional sheet music, has the remarkable effect of allowing us to translate the world of music onto paper. At the same time, it follows strict rules and regulations, and it can sometimes feel a little bit too kind of boxed, narrowed. But in a way, if you can combine both that world and the world of expression of music, of not feeling limited, you can really tap into unlimited opportunities. For example, rhythm is such an important one. But you see how I slow down sometimes? You can't necessarily notate that rhythm for rhythm, if you know what I mean, note for note. You can't necessarily give a precise indication of how time changes accurately. So that's why they tend to, in traditional classical sheet music, Western classical music, they use these terms, written terms, language that suggest a change of time, for example, or a sense of time. For example, ad lib, if I remember correctly, essentially means ad liberato. That essentially means to be a little bit more free with your expression, and that's a way in which they notate how to be more expressive with the time. We're not going to use any of those kind of more expressionate terms just yet, just because we are, for the sake of practicing, being strict with the time. So again, get that pulse. If you don't have a metronome, try your best to try to. It is a free download, but I understand not everybody wants to download an app. It's just a click, and if you feel like you're not being too disciplined, or because it is good to help to practice, and you're speeding up, just slow it down. Slowing down the pulse, the click, the metronome is the best way to really practice. So I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 5. 2, 3. Just let it sing. 4. 3 and 5. 2, 3, 4. 2 and 5. 2, 3, 4. 3 and 5. 2 and 5. 2 and 5. 3 and 5. It's a lovely chord progression. You could just play this. I know I've got drilling in the background. I'm very sorry about that. So I'm counting on you guys to create a more atmospheric scenario playing this chord progression wherever you are in the world. 2, 3, 4. You can literally just play this and do it for meditation or other people's meditation or for your own, whatever it is, practice. And that's it. I'm not going to throw in anything else today, such as anything. I'm just going to keep it to those chords and refer to this class as chord pattern 1. I hope you had the patience to bear with me as I also refresh my memory on all of this. They say that, don't they? If you don't use it, you lose it. And although I did spend a good 15 years learning all this terminology and theory, it saddens me because I've forgotten some of the terms. I just had to research that. But now we know. Semi-brief in the US or Canada, whole notes. Okay? Let's explore this chord pattern perhaps one bit further in the next lesson. See you there. Thank you for tuning in.